Chapter 5 The Daughter of the Air. The following day, the prince's ship sailed into harbor. All the church bells rang and trumpets sounded as they left the ship. Many people came to greet them. The little mermaid was curious to meet the princess. What does the princess look like? She wondered. At last, the beautiful princess appeared. The prince instantly recognized her. "Oh, it was you," he cried. "You saved my life." He held her in his arms and kissed her. "I'm so glad now," he told the little mermaid. "I have found my true love. Let us celebrate." The little mermaid smiled at him, but she was heartbroken. The next day, a splendid wedding was held for the prince and the princess. They looked very happy, but the little mermaid was very miserable. She knew that this was her last day before she died. That evening, they all went aboard the ship. The sea was calm and the night was clear. A night wind filled the sails as they left harbor. The sailors lit the lanterns on the deck. Then everyone celebrated the marriage of the prince and his bride. The music began. The little mermaid joined in the dance. Her feet felt as if they were pierced by knives, but the pain in her heart was worse. "This is my last night. I'll never see my prince again," she thought. The party lasted until after midnight. The little mermaid hid her sorrow and danced all night. Then the prince kissed his bride, and they walked hand in hand to their beautiful cabin. Finally, a silence came over the ship. Only the little mermaid remained on the deck. She looked toward the east and waited for the sun. "I will die in the morning," she thought. Then she saw her sisters among the waves. They no longer had beautiful long hair. "What happened to your hair?" she tried to shout. "We gave our hair to the witch," called one sister, "and she gave us this sharp knife. Before the sun rises, kill the prince. When his warm blood touches your feet, your fish tail will appear again, and you can come back to us. Hurry! Soon the sun will rise and you'll die." They gave her the knife and then sank beneath the waves. The little mermaid went to the prince's cabin. She watched him as he slept beside his bride. He looked so peaceful. She lifted the sharp knife toward him. "Oh no," she shouted to herself. She could not kill him. She loved him too much. She ran up to the deck and threw the knife into the sea. The waves turned the blood red where it fell. Then she dived into the cold water. It surrounded her, and then her body turned into sea foam. The morning sun rose above the waters. It warmed the cool sea, but the little mermaid did not feel that. In the bright sunlight, she saw hundreds of fairies moving in the sky. Their beautiful voices sang of love and kindness. The little mermaid felt a body floating like theirs. She rose up into the air. "Who are you?" she asked as she floated high above the sea. "We are the daughters of the air," answered one fairy. "Like you, we have no soul. But if you are good and kind, you can get one. We carry the sweet smell of flowers through the air. We take the warm air to melt and snow. After 300 years, we can have a soul. But why did you bring me here? Asked the little mermaid. You have been good. Now you can have a soul too. A soul never dies. The little mermaid looked down at the prince's ship. She saw that the prince and the princess were searching for her. Then they stopped and gazed sadly into the sea. They knew the little mermaid had thrown herself into the waves. The little mermaid flew down and kissed the prince and his bride. They felt the warm air around them. Don't be sad, she whispered to them. I'm very happy now. Then the little mermaid flew back to the daughters of the air. She looked toward the sun. A bright smile appeared on her face.